All right, hey everybody, welcome back to the Nidus Anarchy series. I'm your host Adam, the CIO and co-founder of Nidus, and today we're going to be talking about Doom. So Doom has always been kind of the underlying tone of everything hacking, not just my life, as you've seen in podcasts that we talked like John Lester, and also just recently when we were talking with the CEO of Token Ring. Doom is a cult classic of just everyone that's in cybersecurity. If they're not into Doom, they're actually not really into cybersecurity. So that's a little trick for you. I hope our editor's flashing this is not a real statement on the bottom, but for me, everyone that is in this world, Doom's just been something that we've all been into since the inception of us being on a computer, right? So if you missed the whole John Lester interview, we were talking about it. That's exactly how I got into this from the very beginning. When I was 14, I had a drafting class. And my drafting teacher was like, hey, me and a buddy of mine, like, stay after class. I want to show you guys something I think you'll think is cool. I'm like, okay. And then so class is over. And he's like, yeah, come on up here. So he had a computer up in the front of his classroom, which back then was rare. He was one of the only people that had a computer in the classroom because it was the drafting. And this was back in Detroit, where everything in junior high and high school, we did it in middle school, was catered towards going into the automotive industry. So we had car shop, we had metal shop, wood shop, drafting class. It was all standard things that we just did in class. So we get up to the computer, like, hey, I want to show you something cool. And then he goes on, he's like, check this out. And then all of a sudden the screen just lights up, Wolfenstein 3D. And all of a sudden you're this guy in a 3D maze hunting and killing Nazis with blood flying everywhere. And we're like, holy crap. This is amazing. Now to understand, Wolfenstein 3D was the first real 3D shooter. And when I say real, I mean, obviously the sprites were all 2D, but you were in a 3D map where you moved around and did all the things and shot stuff. The first person shooter game ever was Wolfenstein 3D. And there was no internet really like it is now. So this took the computer underground hacking scene by storm. So this is how I got into hacking, right? Because what happened was he said, hey, yeah, if you can bring me a couple floppy disks, I'll give you a copy of it. And we're like, oh, rad. So we ran home. Next day, got floppy disk, came back, gave it to him. It wouldn't fit on the floppy. And we're like, what's going on? The file was too large to fit on the disk. And we're like, oh, man, what are we going to do? How are we going to get this game? So we start freaking out. And he's like, oh, don't worry. There's this thing called zip or PK zip and PK unzip. And with it, you can compress files and make them smaller so they fit on the things. And we're like, whoa, this is amazing. So that was the intro. Now, also, and it's like, if there was a way, if someone was making a documentary about my life and they were filming this scene, right now, this drafting teacher would be taking these pieces of paper stapled together with all ruffled edges and weird coffee stains on it and be like, you know what, I'm going to give you this. And he hands it to my friend and me and says, here. And this should be glowing gold with angels singing, we're like, what is this? So this guy hands me this list of papers with these weird names and phone numbers. And we're like, what is this? He's like, these are bulletin boards. I'm like, what? Because obviously all we knew a bulletin board was the thing with the cork board, right? We're just stabbing it up there and it's a piece of paper and it's on the bulletin board. So I get this list and it's all these bulletin board numbers. So we're like, what's a bulletin board? And he's like, oh, well, your computer calls these numbers. And then these bulletin boards have software, and you can download it for free. And we're like, whoa, what do you mean? He's like, yeah, games, apps, you can get everything for free from these places. You just call into them with your computer and you download it. And we're like, how do we do that? And he's like, well, you need bulletin board software, so you can get a client out there, and you'll figure it out. And we're like, okay, yeah, no problem. And these numbers the Boneyard, Fat Angus. What were some of the other ones that we went to? I don't remember. It was so long ago. But so this is how everything started. Was we needed to get onto these bulletin boards so that we could find Wolfenstein 3D, the full version, and download it. Because the shareware version, that was fine to hand around, but we wanted the full version where you kill Hitler in the end. Robot Hitler, more like Mecha Hitler, I guess, is the end boss in Wolfenstein 3D. So we ran home and we're saying, okay, our computer needs to call another computer. I feel like obviously Zoolander hadn't come out yet, but you remember that clip in Zoolander where like the files are in the computer.
They're in the computer? In the computer.
And then they start ripping the computer apart. Like, this was like me and my friend was sitting there like for the whole weekend just trying to figure out how the hell do we get a computer to call another computer. So we heard about this thing called a modem, and then we found out, oh, my computer's got a modem. So I had a 2400 BPS modem, and then in the back was a phone line jack. So we plugged that into the wall, and we're like, okay, step one, we figured out how to get the computer to connect it to the phone line. Now, how do we make the phone call? So in Windows 3.11, or Windows 3.1 back in the day, that's what we were running on, there was an app called Terminal, and you could actually type in the connect codes to dial a machine and do things. So the first trick that we had to figure out was going through all these lists of phone numbers. We called them, and then we get a connection, and they would just sit there and blink, and we're like, okay, what do we do with that? So we wound up calling all these numbers until we found one that actually was just start spitting out text to us, telling us what to do. And then we found one that was like, hey, you need a bulletin board client. Here's how you can get one. And then we went and were able to download a client from one of these bulletin boards. And then from there, we were able to then connect to bulletin board systems that were running Tag, Renegade. These were like the big ones back in the day. And then from there, it just kind of skyrocketed. So then we started connecting to all the bulletin boards and getting elite access and meeting the sysops to get wares and all this other fun stuff that was going back on it. But of course, the first thing we did was download Wolfenstein 3D, and we were playing that all day, every day. I mean, that game just changed. It definitely didn't just change my life. It changed a ton of people's lives. And then id Software, who created Wolfenstein 3D, came out with Doom. And Doom took the first-person shooter to a whole new level. I mean, it was all of a sudden, you're this guy, you're Doom guy, which is this little dude here, and you're just fighting through these bowels of hell. You somehow got transported. I think you're actually transported to Mars, but somehow all the demons from hell are there on Mars, and I'm not really sure, which is weird because I should know this. But and then you're just fighting through these demons that just slaughter everything level by level, and these crazy cool stuff, and you're just blowing stuff up, and blood and guts are flying everywhere, and it was the coolest thing ever. I mean, at that time, we had Super Nintendo, we had Super Mario Brothers, right? Like, oh, look at this, and Zelda. It's like, these are fun. And then all of a sudden you get this guy blowing stuff up and guts flying everywhere and like zombies on the wall riling around and stuff. And you're just like, this is never going to be on Nintendo. And you can't play this in the arcades. This is a whole new world. So we're freaking out playing Doom. And then Doom came out with an update for multiplayer. We could deathmatch. And this is where Deathmatch came from. So my computer could call my friend's computer on the modem, and we could fight each other. And that changed history. I mean, still to this day, look, the most popular games in the world that are making billions of dollars are first-person shooters. Fortnite, Call of Duty, right? These games that are just dominating the gaming industry, it all comes from Doom Deathmatch. That's it. And even like Call of Duty, like one of my favorite ones is like Kill Confirm, where you got to pick up the dog tags and everything. That was Doom too. It was headhunter mode. So when you killed them, the head would fall and you'd have to pick up the head. I mean, still to this day, I still have that muscle memory. But when I kill someone, I run over top of their dead body, because back then you picked up all their stuff that they dropped. Now you need the scavenger pack in Call of Duty. But so it's still so hardwired into my brain that when you kill someone, you run over top of them to pick up their gun or their ammo or shields or whatever. So, I mean, Doom is just amazing. And the whole world, especially the hacker community at the time, because this thing just proliferated on the bulletin boards everywhere, and it drove everything. When Doom came out, it was, oh man, I need a faster computer so I could make it look better. Because you know what it was they kind of teased you, and I don't even think they did this on purpose. When you got it, you could set your resolution. So when you set the resolution, so basically better computers could run the game. They could run the game faster, and it could run it look more beautiful on the screen, essentially. So when I would run it, I'd be running it at like 420 by 368 or I don't know what it was, but super small, so everything's super pixelated. But that was like the best resolution I could run it at, to where I could see everything and play the game, and it would still work over the modem. Then all of a sudden, it's like I'm buying better graphics cards so that I could get a better resolution. I'm buying a 14.4 modem. Like, I remember for Christmas, I got a 14.4K modem, And I lost my mind. I was like, this is amazing! And my mom was like, got it for me, and she's like, I still don't know what this is. She has no idea. It's like his computer's calling on computers, and he needs this thing. I don't know. He's just very stressed that this is all he wanted. So that's all I got. And it was the best thing I could have ever gotten. So I got the 14K4 modem. I got the upgraded graphics cards, and this still just kept on going, because then it's like, now you want to play it at full scale. Now you got the best graphics, and it looks amazing. Your gibs are just in full high color red resolution of blood mist going everywhere from the imps when you slaughter them. And then the next big thing happened in the underground BBS community, which was beta versions of the software got leaked. So we had the pre-release of Doom 2, like they had the alpha version before it was ever released, before anyone even knew it was coming out. We had this crazy pre-release version. It was super horrible to play. I mean, the graphics weren't good. Your computer could barely run it on a super low resolution mode because, like, you know, it was just not meant for prime time. But we had it. And then we got the beta versions. We got these different releases. And that's really when stuff took off, because we were trading these different Doom versions. And we were keeping track of which version, so this way you knew you had the latest and greatest version all the time. And whoever had the latest version, everyone was just clamoring to go get it. So when Doom 2, these beta releases came out, that's when things really started to get crazy. And then the only people that had it were people in the hacker community, because, you know, we were trading all this stuff that no one was supposed to have. So since then, Doom and id Software, like Quake and all that stuff, has just been this through line for hacker community. Still to this day, every time hardware comes out, if there's any type of a graphical system on there, someone will figure out a way to get Doom to run on it. It's just something that we do. I don't know why, but we do. And I remember getting Doom to run on my old Motorola Razr phone. I had Doom running on the first iPod Shuffle that had that little tiny screen on it. I had Doom running on that. It was just something you did. It was like, the first hack you want to do is get Doom to run on this weird thing. So when we were talking to John Lester from Loft Heavy Industries, he was saying about how he had Doom on his flipper. So what did I do? I ran out, I grabbed my flipper, figured out how to hack this thing. And I'm proud to say, dun, 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 Doom. I got Doom running on my flipper. So, yeah, see, you can see this here. Dun, 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 dun. You shoot stuff. We'll clip to a better video, but yeah. So I now have Doom running on my flipper. And the other night, I was sitting around bored at something I didn't want to be at, and I was literally playing Doom on my flipper all night. It is awesome. So, with that, what I wanted to show you guys was there's actually a Reddit thread called It Runs Doom. And they've since shut it down, like from a moderator perspective, but people are still posting into it all the time. So what I want to do is kind of show you some of the crazy things that people have gotten Doom to run on over the years. Now, I'm not sure if it's in here. So just to preface, one of them that is super crazy, but I just want to put a disclaimer on it, is that someone got Doom to run on a pregnancy test. The thing was, the pregnancy test, obviously it's the screen, the digital screen really is just like a little LCD screen, just like a 1-0 whatever. So they swapped out the screen for a little, I think it was like a Pico screen or something, but all the components consisted of running inside. So it was still awesome, but it was not actually fully complete, but it's still pretty crazy that someone got Doom to run on a pregnancy test, right? Okay, so let's show some crazy stuff that people got Doom to run on. So starting from the top, we're just going to go in order. There's a Nintendo. This is obviously not, someone didn't just buy Doom and get it running the old Nintendo DS. Let's see what we got. We got Doom running on an Amazon Fire Stick TV, old Commodore 64, a Wi-Fi toothbrush. That was pretty crazy. Lawnmowers. This one is pretty nuts. This video shows someone with like a crazy, I'm not really sure how true this is, but someone made like a trailer of Doom running on the lawnmower, and it is the coolest like promo video for a lawnmower that you will ever see in your life. So I highly recommend you check that out. This one was pretty awesome. So this is Doom playable over audio. So what you're seeing here is the audio, I don't know what the hell this thing is, spectrograph, I'm not sure what it's called, where it shows kind of like the heat map of the audio, like high, low tones. So someone got the whole thing running in that way. So what you're actually seeing here in this video as it's scrolling by are the audio lines drawing out the Doom game as someone's running through. Not the best resolution, but I think this is probably one of the more impressive things I've seen recently. Let's see, what else do we have here that's pretty fun and exciting? Doom runs on gut bacteria. 1 frame every 8 hours and 20 minutes, but it works. And that is all that matters. That's terribly impressive. Doom CE on an HP 360 LX. That's an old-ass HP little PDA from back in the day. Samsung Galaxy. Let's see, on a Porsche 911. That's awesome. I want to get it running on my Mercedes. So whoever can, I'm going to see if we can do that. Doom in a GIF. Now the question is it running in the GIF or is it playing it? I don't know. I'll let you guys figure that out. Also, I want to make this very clear. It is GIF. It is not GIF. To everyone that thinks it is GIF, you are an idiot. Because it is pronounced GIF. It's always been pronounced GIF ever since it was created. There's an interview out there with the guy that created the graphical interchange format, and he even says it's pronounced GIF like the peanut butter. Okay? So stop saying GIF. It's not. It's GIF, like giraffe. J. Okay? We're done. Now, let's move on. Okay, here we go. iPod. Yeah. Everyone that had an iPod with the color iPod, we all had Doom running on that one. That was, I don't want to say easy, but that was the one where it was like, oh yeah, obviously. A Peloton spin bike. Now we're talking. That's, if you want to get me to exercise, put it in a way to where I'm running my character in Doom, I will probably be the most fit person in the world. What do we got here? Oh wow, here's a soundboard. This is pretty rad. A Surface, okay. Like when they get it running on a computer, it's like, oh, another soundboard. Soundcraft mixer, pretty cool. eGrit Mini 2, oh, it's a little gaming thing. This one, okay, you can play Doom on my earrings. Yes, okay, we're going to play the video. Let's see. Holy crap. She's not lying. It works. That's awesome. Old computer systems. Okay, this one's a little hilarious, but it's kind of like the pregnancy test. PSA, Doom could be running inside your kid's Halloween candy. Someone shows that they hacked Doom to run inside a Milky Way. It's pretty funny. Oh, here you go. A cool little, it was a Silicon Graphics machine. Those are always fun. Another calculator. Anything else that's crazy? That's people bitching. Oh, on an Arduino board, breadboard, on a TV. Playing Doom in teletext. That's impressive. Task running in the taskbar. Hold on, let's watch this. This is old Windows 3.1. Oh wow. And they do. You can't read anything. But that's about the resolution the first time I played Doom on my machine. So that's what we were looking at right there. And that's why you would spend all this money on the best graphics cards, which were 3DFX cards back in the day. So when we were just talking to Token Ring, the CEO, he used to work at 3DFX. That was the thing. You needed a 3DFX card to get Doom and to get Quake to run the best. You had to have 3DFX. Runs on desktop. Oh, this looks weird. Looks like they have individual icons playing around the desktop to render the game. Let's see. Does it play it? Oh, he's doing something. Holy crap. That's crazy. It's changing the icons to be the UI for Doom. That's pretty cool. Minecraft Pi Edition runs Doom. Okay, let's check this one out. Is it legit? So far, I'm just seeing a picture. Oh, it's legit. That's pretty crazy. But dude, this is what I'm talking about. People are getting Doom to run on everything. And right now, we're only at a year ago. This thing goes back forever. Here's a camera that it's running on. Here's Gatorade. Just kidding, it's not. Kindle. What is this? A drone radio. Spreadsheets. Doom running through a spreadsheet. Now we're talking. This is what Excel was meant for. Doom. Can we fast forward this because there's nothing happening? No? All right, forget this. Let's go back. So with that, I just want to say I'm really curious about what your favorite thing is that you've seen Doom run on. Have you gotten Doom to run on something that's just utterly bizarre? Hit us up in the comments. You know, let's do this. Everywhere that you found Doom to run on that's been cool, post it in the comments because I want to see it. Obviously, you can tell I'm a Doom fan. My whole arm here is a Doom tattoo. Look, Doom guy, Hell Knight. This is a cyber demon. I got the little zombie on the wall. He's got the chainsaw running through stuff. because of this is how my nickname became a Doom. So my Ethereum wallet address is a doom.eth. So feel free to send me some Ethereum if you think you love this podcast. So that's about it. I just wanted to say Doom, I think, is probably one of the most amazing games ever made. It's spawned pretty much what video games are today. And in the hacker community, it really is just our foundational, like, this is how we all got started back in the early 90s. And it's still to this day some of my most fun things. I still play Doom. I have it on my Xbox, and I'll sit down and play it on like an 80-inch giant TV and blasting it, because even now, a game from the mid-90s is still a ton of fun to play. And I think that this is never going to stop. Last thing I want to leave you with is the Doom remake from the Xbox was phenomenal. Great game. The second one, though, really lame. Don't bother with it. And with that, I'm going to let you guys go. I hope that this weekend you run out and play yourself some Doom. See you guys around. Doom.